My books are available on Amazon, dreallday.com/Amazon, hard copy and digital copy. Work on your game.
DreAllDay.com.
And today we're talking about the leadership. We're talking about leadership. There are no statues built for committees. There are no monuments built to a committee. Thank you, Tom, for sharing that on Facebook. And the main thing that y'all got to understand with that is when it comes to leadership, you always have to put yourself in a position to take control if you want to be in a position of having power. If you want to have power, you must take control. Responsibility is equal to control, which is equal to power. Malcolm X said this, that every organization must have a boss. And I'm going to go over 5 points today in this stream right here today. I'm going to give you 5 points. What's up, Lou? I'm going to give you 5 points that will tell you how to put yourself in a position to be that leader, not deferring to a group, not deferring to a committee, not deferring to anybody other than yourself. Because if you do that, that's how you're going to get more responsibility. And if you take on more responsibility, you will have more power and then you can get more credit. Now, if that's what you want, then you need to listen to this. If that's not what you want, then this might not be for you, but maybe it'd be for somebody that you know. What's up, Staying Fresh for Life? How you doing? So let's get straight into it. What's up, Andy from Cali? Can I get some hearts from the people on Periscope? Please, some hearts on Periscope and Facebook. Can I please get some likes over there? You're going to give me 1,000 hearts. That's what's up. Time. Remember that after 500, it don't count. So you got to do 500, leave, and come back if you want to do 1,000. But I do appreciate the offer. So here's number one. Number one thing you got to understand. Malcolm X said this in his autobiography. Every organization must have a boss. Even if your organization is just one person, even if it's just you, you have to be the boss of your organization. If your organization is 5 people, you got a group of 3 people, 7 people, 23 people. There must be a leader. There must be a boss in every organization because when it gets to the point that a decision must be made, if everybody has a different opinion, somebody has to step up and make a decision. What's going on? Abdiraham from Chi-Town, what's going on? Somebody has to step up and make a decision at all times in an organization. If you're the only person in your organization, you got to be the boss of your organization. So what does that mean? People say, well, if it's just me, what does that mean being a boss of my organization? Think of this. When you go to work, what's going on, Dragozy? When you go to work by yourself, or actually when you go to work and you have a boss, any of you who work somewhere, you got a boss. If you're supposed to do a certain job and your boss comes in your office and you're not doing that job, something's going to happen. And if you know the boss is about to come by your office and look in on your work, what do? You make sure that you're doing your work. If your boss says, have these papers on my desk by 5 p.m. Friday, or your job might be on the line, what do? You get those papers on their desk by 5 p.m. Friday because you understand that you have to get the job done because there's a boss looking over your shoulder and there will be consequences if you don't do the job. So this is how you can take that same principle and apply it to yourself personally. If you are the only person in your organization, you have to treat your work as if there's a boss looking over your shoulder. You have to treat your work like you'll get fired if you don't do your job. You have to treat your work as if there are penalties, consequences, and repercussions for not doing your job. Yes, sir, Alan, I appreciate it. What's up, damn Jam? Like it. How you feeling? So you got to make sure that you are looking over your own shoulder, holding yourself accountable, being your own accountability partner. I posted a pic on IG and on Facebook about that a couple weeks ago. You must hold yourself accountable. This is also known as a word that a lot of people see as a dirty word. We call it self-discipline. No, thank you, Dragoz's. So, what's up, CRC? How you feeling? So this is called self-discipline. Number one, every organization must have a boss. Number two thing that you have to understand when it comes to leadership is this. Actually, one more thing I want to add on that. There was this coach. I don't know how many of you watch college football in the United States. I know we got some overseas people here, but there was a coach at Florida State University by the name of Bobby Bowden. Y'all remember Bobby Bowden? What's up, Jarrell? Yes, personal accountability. If you remember Bobby Bowden, please tap the screen on Periscope and give me some comments. Let me get some thumbs up there. All the people on Facebook. You know, it's actually we're pretty close. Facebook is almost catching up. All right, everybody remember Bobby Bowden? All right, so Bobby Bowden at Florida State one time, he made a controversial decision about one of his players. One of his players had broken a team rule, and the media found out about it, and the media was sitting there like, well, Bobby, what are you going to do? Are you going to suspend this player? Because there was a big game coming up. Are you going to suspend this player or are you going to let this player play in the game? And Bobby decided controversially to let this player play in the game because he was one of the star players on the team. And the media came to him after that game, after Florida State played in the game. They say, hey, Bobby, why did you let that player play in the game? Did you consult anybody else about your decision before you made it? And Bobby said, yes, I did. He said, I actually have 9 assistant coaches on my football team. So whenever there's time to make a big decision, I consult each one of my 9 assistant coaches. Each one of them gets 1 vote. And me as the head coach, I get 10 votes. So he was basically saying, yes, I do take input from all these people in my organization, but when it's time to make the final decision, the decision goes to me. I don't give a damn what those guys say because I'm the guy in charge. So number one is that every organization must have a boss, and you must take the responsibility of being that boss. All right. Are we back, Facebook? You must take that responsibility of being that boss at all times. Number two, leadership equals decision making. Leadership equals decision making. So if you want to be a leader, if you have questions, hold your questions. I will take them at the end. If you want, what's up, Andres Kevin Durant. Your middle name is Kevin Durant. If you're going to be a leader, ladies and gentlemen, and whatever you do, you must take on responsibility. The more responsibility you take on, the more of a leadership load that you have. And when you're the leader, you're the person making the call. You're the person with the final say. Everything starts with you and everything stops with you. Leadership equals responsibility. Here's another thing that is equal to responsibility. We call it adulthood. Adulthood. Often I get young athletes coming to me asking Dre. An athlete came to me today and said, Dre, what college should I go to? You know how many colleges there are in the United States? Or what should I do? I'm split between this sport and that sport. Or, I don't know if I want to try out for a team overseas this year. Or should I go back to college? Or should I just work for another year and work on my game? What should I do? Is everybody back on the feed? On Facebook, it had paused for a second, but I think it's back now. We good on Facebook? So what you have to understand is that if you're going to be an adult, if you're going to be a leader, if you're going to have competence, if you're going to have responsibility and you're going to get credit when things go well, you must learn to take responsibility. Adulthood is responsibility and leadership is responsibility. That's number two. Number three thing, when it comes to leading, when it comes to taking full control, is deflecting blame also deflects power and it also deflects credit. If you have a committee, let's say it's 3 people in your group, and the 3 of you decide, all right, everything that happens, all 3 of us gotta agree on it before we do it. You don't appoint a boss in your organization. There's no one person who is stops within your organization. If you don't do this, when things go wrong, where are you going to point? We don't know where to go to. See, when there's a leader in an organization, when there's a boss in an organization, if something goes wrong, think about it. If you work, let's say you worked in a cake factory. Let's say I ran a cake factory. I'm the boss of that organization. And something goes wrong with orders being fulfilled. Then I'm going to the head of fulfillment and finding out what went wrong. If something's going wrong in the kitchen, I'm going to the person who's in charge of putting the cakes in the oven and finding out what's going wrong. If something's wrong with one of my ingredients and my customers are getting sick from eating the cakes, I'm going to the person who's mixing up the ingredients and finding out which ingredient is being messed up. Or I'm going to my suppliers that I'm ordering from and finding out who that person is. Now, if my customers at the front of the store, at the front of the house, are complaining that they don't like the service at the register, then I'm going to my register people and finding out, hey, what the hell is going on in my register that my customers are complaining. So what you have to understand about all this is this. There must be a boss in an organization so that when anything goes wrong, you know exactly where to look to and find out what the problem is. That's something that a lot of organizations, if you look at a well-running organization that runs fluidly, that's what they do. Everybody knows their role. Everybody knows everybody else's role. And if something goes wrong, everybody knows where to look. Now, also, if things are going good, people know where to look. When things go great, when the situation turns out perfect, when there is a bonus to go around, when there is success to go around, to get passed around, guess what? Everybody knows where to look because everybody is in their place. And there's a place for everybody. And when you're a leader, you have to know who that is. You have to know where that is. You have to know what that is. You have to know how it's run. And you have to put everybody in their right place to do their right thing. So number 3 is deflecting, or is that number 4? Deflecting blame also deflects your power and deflects your credit. No, that was number 3. Number 4, full responsibility equals full power. Full responsibility equals full power. Full responsibility equals full power. If you want to have complete control over any situation that you are in life, anything that you're doing in life, you must assume more and more and more responsibility. Now, when people hear that word, they're like, responsibility is hard. Responsibility means if things go wrong, somebody's going to point to me. Responsibility means if nobody else does their job, I got to step in and do their job. Responsibility means people start thinking of all these negative things that come with being responsible. Well, guess what? It can be negative, but it also can be positive. We know that every situation, whether you see it as good or bad, carries with it the seed of an equivalent and equal benefit, according to Napoleon Hill in Think and Grow Rich. So understand that if you want full power, if you want complete power over anything that you're doing in life, here's a simple way to get it. Take more responsibility for whatever it is you're doing. If you want more power for anything you're doing in life, take on more responsibility for what it is that you're doing. If you want more power over your money, take more responsibility over your money. Which means if you work at a job at some company and you feel like the boss is not paying you enough, you feel like you have no power to get more money and he won't give you a raise, then you need to take some action that's going to give you more responsibility over how much money you're making. Maybe you need to start your own business on the side. Maybe you need to do something outside of work that'll make you some more money that you have control over, such as selling things. You got complete control when you're doing that. So full responsibility equals full power. If you don't feel like you're getting enough power on a basketball team, you're on a sports team. Thank you, Alan, for laying out each one of these points. If you feel like you're on a sports team and you're not getting enough playing time, you're not getting the ball enough, and the coach is not trusting you enough, what you need to do is give yourself more responsibility, which means you can go to the coach and say, hey, coach, what do I need to do to earn more playing time? What do I need to do to get the ball more? What do I need to do to get more plays ran for me? And if that doesn't work out, then what you can do is go to another team or start your own team if you have the opportunity. Go to another team where you can take on more responsibility. If you want more power, you must take on more responsibility. And the last step when it comes to leadership and taking power and responsibility in your life, in any area of your life, is this. People follow strength. People do not follow weakness. People always follow strength. They do not follow weakness. And understand that when I say strength and weakness, I didn't say people follow what's right over what's wrong. People follow strength over weakness. See, even if you're doing something that is inherently wrong, people will follow you if you do it in strength. How many leaders, how many people have we known over the years? Saddam Hussein, Joseph Stalin, Adolf Hitler, who were, obviously they were doing the wrong thing. When they interviewed the people who were following them and doing the things that they were told to do, they said, I knew what I was doing was wrong, but I did it anyway. Why was that? That's because they were following strength. Human beings are programmed. We are psychologically hardwired to follow strength. When somebody is strong in their convictions, they're strong in the way they carry themselves, they're strong in the way they communicate with you, they're strong in their decision making, people will follow that. If you want to be a person who gets followed, all you have to do is be stronger in the way that you communicate, carry yourself, identify things, look people in the eyes, the way that you walk into a room, the way that you walk out of a room, the way that you handle situations. You start doing those things more in strength than you do them in weakness, people will start following you. That's just is a law of human nature. No matter what it is that you're doing, you can be doing a complete wrong thing and have everything wrong. People will follow you as long as you're doing it in strength. So let me take any questions if anybody got questions as I recap these 5. Number 1, every organization must have a boss even if it's one person. Number 2, leadership equals decision making. Also, adulthood equals decision making. You're going to be an adult, you must make decisions. Number 3, deflecting blame also deflects power and credit. Number 4, full responsibility equals full power. And number 5, people follow strength. They do not follow weakness. Even if you're wrong, people will follow you when you're in strength. If anybody got questions, go ahead and post them. I'll take them. I'm taking questions Facebook. I got to scroll back through on Facebook because I saw some questions. The benefit of Facebook's live stream as opposed to Periscope is that I can scroll down and see comments. Yes, thank you, D Zeal. I appreciate that. All right, so let me see. If anybody got questions on Periscope, go ahead and post them. I'll paste it. I will address it. Can I explain number 3? Number 3 being full responsibility equals full power. CC, if you didn't see the whole stream, you have to go back and watch it. I explained each one. All right, I'm going through looking for it. If there's any questions on Periscope, go ahead and post them. I'm looking right now. I'm looking right now through my Facebook. I appreciate you, Alan, for posting the points that I put up each one. You met Bobby Bowden. All right, where are we at? All right, Damon says, I can't find which ingredient is bad about me, but my coach always yells on me. Then what you need to do is speak to your coach and ask him what the challenge is, and he'll tell you. Ask your coach. If you're not asking, then people can't tell you if you don't ask. Andre says, Dre, do we have to work every day or we need rest sometime? Both. You can work every day and still rest. You're not working 24 hours a day. I didn't see that last comment. Please repost that. Like dogs and wolves, if you're confident in your body language, even when you don't think you're right, they'll follow. Exactly, being an alpha. Presmec says, what do you do when people blame your shot selection even though you are the leader? Well, if you're the leader, you're not worried about the people who are following you blaming you. That's part of the responsibility of being a leader. A micromanager will not allow you to be a leader. I'm glad you made that comment. You're absolutely right. Nobody in the world, I don't care whether they're a micromanager, they're a macro manager, if they're a church pastor, if it's your mom, if it's your dad, if it's your sister, if it's a maintenance man, if it's a cashier at Walgreens, nobody ever in life will allow allow you to be a leader. Leadership is something that's taken, it is not given. So no, so you're absolutely right. Nobody will allow you to be a leader. Not a micromanager, not any other type of manager. Leadership is taken. You take the lead. You ever heard people say that? He took the lead in the race. You know, you're not given the lead, you take the lead. So if you don't have leadership right now, it's because you haven't taken it. You're expecting somebody to hand it to you, keep waiting. Get a Snickers bar. I actually meant a little personal example, but I'll go back. Like a personal example, but I'll go back and see. Full responsibility equaling full power. CC easily. When I wanted to be a professional basketball player, I didn't know where to go, who to talk to, who to ask a question for. There was no internet. Well, it was internet, but there wasn't a lot of information on the internet. There was no YouTube. There was nobody putting out that information like I put that information out there. I took full responsibility for making it happen. I made it happen. Now I'm able to empower other people with that same information these days that I learned through trial and error. Let me see that last question again. Gotta have that alpha mentality. Yeah, it's alpha mentality, and I mean, alpha mentality is everybody's heard that phrase before, but it's kind of hard to fingerprint what does that mean. So you have to actually take the concepts that I put in. Check out these concepts down. We can't even ask questions. Well, you can ask questions. If you got a question about the concepts, go ahead and ask a question. I will reply to your question. How do you become a better leader on the court? By following the points that I laid out in the street and actually having game. You ain't got no game, it don't matter. It's video over, I can't see or hear anything. No, it's still going. People on Facebook can't hear anything. I'm seeing it live. I'm seeing it loud and clear on Facebook. So I don't know if y'all not seeing it or not. Let me try to go to my Facebook and see if I can see it. Burning for leader is not good. I don't want everyone to be equal. Well, listen, you still can be who you are no matter who the president is. The president's not going to come to your house and make you start doing things. You can still do what you're doing. All right, the day that the day that they elect a new president in the United States, the day he gets sworn in, nothing in your life is going to actually change if you think about it. All right, you can see me. All right, he will take my money. Well, if you think he's going to take your money, he is going to take your money. So you're right. So you're absolutely right. He is going to take your money. He ain't going to take my money. I guess he's going to take yours, though. Maybe he'll take your money and give it to me. I'll be all right with that. Every dollar you make, he will take 80 cents. Okay, well, what you going to do about it? That's the better question. Since if you're not running for president yourself, you got two options. You could sit here on the internet and bitch about it, or you could take some action. Right now, you choosing number one. So hopefully you choose option number two. Because after this conversation that we just had, that taking full responsibility is full power. Bitching on the internet has never made anybody no money. Never saved you no money either. All right, can I take any more questions, ladies and gentlemen? This is Dre all day. Y'all are talking to. Shout out to everybody here on Facebook. We finally back on Facebook live streaming. Shout out to all my people on Periscope watching. Can I get some hearts on Periscope from the people who are watching? I see one person with the green. What color is that? All right, thank you for the hearts, everybody on Periscope. Any more questions on Facebook? I will gladly take them. I'm going to come back through the comments on my Facebook page. And I'm going to actually respond to the comments on my Facebook page personally when I go through them. I got Smart Water email tomorrow. All right, I'm looking out for it. Is it coming from Smart Water or is it coming from you? What's the hold? What you waiting on? Why is this taking so long? I like to move a little bit quicker. But if you can make something happen, let's make it happen. All right, so the comment says, looking forward to the next live stream. That's what's up. Me too. I want to be the captain for my school team, but my team... Oh, thank you, Ton. I appreciate that. I want to be the captain for my school team, and my teammates say I got a bad temper. Any tips on how to control anger on the court? Well, the first thing is, do you agree with what your teammate said? I don't care what somebody else said about you. What do you say about you? Why are you telling me, listen, why are you telling me what somebody else said about you? Do you agree with it? Do you believe it? Because if it's true, if you believe it, then tell me that you think it. Don't tell me what somebody else said and how do you adjust to what somebody else said? Because other people can say whatever they want. You got to decide if you actually agree with it or if you don't. That's the first step. And then from there, if you think it, then you tell me that that's what you think. But don't tell me that's what somebody else said. How do I adjust myself based on what somebody else's opinion? That's the wrong way to think. Oh, definitely, Andreas. Oh yeah, I will definitely do this again, Alan. I do this all the time. I just haven't been doing it on Facebook. I'll be doing it on Periscope a lot. Any other questions I could take on from my people on Periscope or Facebook? Facebook, I'm gonna come back through in the comments myself. But anybody on Periscope, you got a question? Go ahead, post it. I'll take one or two more. Then we wrapping this one up. We are talking about leadership. No statues are built for committees. You must step up and lead on your own if you want the statue. Any statues you've seen, Martin Luther King, Michael Jordan, Abraham Lincoln, George Washington is all one person. They don't build statues for committees of people. They build statues for leaders. Where do I buy something like with Work on Your Game on it? You go to hoophandbook.com. Hoophandbook.com. How do you take over other leaders? You become a leader yourself. There's plenty of space for leadership. There's no scarcity of it. Yeah, go to hoophandbook.com, click on the merchandise link, you'll see it. It's all there. Is yelling at teammates a bad teammate trait? I don't feel like it is. Well, you just answered your own question. All right, any more questions on Periscope? I will take it. Yelling at teammates is not bad or good. It's neutral. It's whatever you decide it is, and you just answered your own question, so you're good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, on Periscope, Facebook, thank you for what's the word I'm looking for? Accompanying me here on this live stream. Y'all know where to catch me. Snapchat is at Dre Baldwin, Twitter at Dre All Day, Instagram at Dre Baldwin. Business inquiries, you want to talk business, I am looking for some people to work with. Send me an email, dre@dreallday.com, or actually Periscope, you click the link in my bio. I'll just put that link in there. Facebook, I'm going to put the link on my page eventually. Work on your game, everybody. dreallday.com. Make sure you get my first book, Buy a Game. It is free. Click the link right here below in the video description. I'm on all your favorite social media platforms, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Periscope. All the links are right down here below. Is either Dre Baldwin or Dre All Day on each one of those sites. And make sure you are subscribed. Hit that subscribe button down there and the thumbs up like button. Subscribe so you catch all the new content. Work on your game. Dre All Day.